guys, it's so good to be back with you again this week. Keep on emailing us those pictures of you watching these videos. Make sure you share them with your friends and follow us on Instagram.
We have a brand new video this week. It's based off the Cast Your Cares series, and we hope you love it.
When I met you.
Hey everyone, we started a brand new series just last week called Cast Your Cares. And it comes from 1 Peter 5:7, where it says, casting all your cares upon him, for he cares for you. And we talked about how when I think of casting, I think of fishing. That fishing pole and taking that bait and that line and casting it out as far away as you can. And when you cast out those fears, those worries, those cares, you get to reel in from the Lord his peace, his joy, his contentment. And we talked about how we cast those cares onto him is through prayer. And prayer is just being open and honest with God. We looked at David. All the worries, all the fears, all the crazy things that he went through, he was honest with the Lord. He said, God, I don't see you. I need you. Help me, Lord. Whatever it was. And the Lord wants the same thing from us. He wants us to be open, to be honest, to just share our feelings with him and say, God, this is how I feel right now. God, this is what's going on in my mind. This is what's going on in my heart. Whatever it is, we could take all those things and we cast it onto him. And he promises to bring us peace. This week we're going to be talking about how he wants us to not be afraid of anything. To be completely free from fear. In fact, in 2 Timothy 1:7 it says, for God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power, of love, and of a sound mind. Think about that. God doesn't want us to be afraid. He wants us to flow in his power, his love, to know exactly what he's called us to do and how he's called us to be. Have you ever been afraid of something before? Maybe it was something big when you were younger and you look back now and you're like, man, I can't believe I was scared of that. Man, I can't believe I was worried about that. I hear all the time from you guys about other things like, man, I remember being scared of the dark. I remember thinking there were monsters in my closet. I remember that clown at that birthday party that freaked me out. Okay, maybe clowns still freak you out. But we can look back on different things. Maybe it was a roller coaster you were scared to go on. Maybe it was the first day of school. Whatever it was, we all have things that we look back now and we say, man, I can't believe I was scared of that. I remember one time, I think I was the most terrified ever in my life. I had gone to a fair or a carnival. I don't really remember which one it was, but I was there with my sister. My sister is 7 years older than me. And we went up to this tent and she said, all right, let's go on this ride. And I was looking and I'm like, this ain't really much of a ride. It was a tent with a little boat that was on water that would go inside the tent in a circle and then come outside the tent, and that was it. And so I told my sister, are you sure about this? And she said, yeah, it'll be fun. So we paid our tickets, we jumped in the boat, and we started to go inside the tent. They opened up the curtain, we started to go inside this big tent. And when they shut the curtain, guess what? Pitch black. I mean, I couldn't even see my hand in front of my face. Now, I don't know about you, but my thing that I hate the most in life is being scared. Is when someone jumps out and says boo or makes noise or anything and you have that feeling where you jump and you're scared. I hate that more than anything. Even my kids, when they were little, they knew, don't scare daddy because he's going to get upset. He's going to get mad because I hate it. It's the worst. And so here we are on this boat. I'm young, I'm with my sister, and all of a sudden we start going through and I'm thinking like, what is happening? And all of a sudden my mind starts working, right? We're inside this boat, we're going in a circle, it's pitch black, I can't see anything, what is gonna happen? And basically all the ride was different people inside this tent scaring you. It would be silent. You can't hear anything, and all of a sudden someone would just go, ah, and scare you like that. And I could feel the people almost on top of you. They wouldn't touch you or anything else. They would just yell at you in your ear. I don't know if they had infrared goggles or what, but they could see us. And it was the worst. And I remember every time someone scared me, I'd go, ah, I'd scream and hold on to my sister and be freaked out. And I just wanted that ride to be over. We came all the way through, and it happened about 5 different times where 5 different people were scaring us. And we got to the very end. And as we got to the very end, all of a sudden the curtain started to open, right? We were getting out of the tent, and the relief that came on me. I'm not going to be scared anymore, right? I'm not going to have to scream like a little girl anymore. And we come out, and I'll never forget. I turned around and I looked inside the tent. See, the light was showing in there because the curtain was up for us to come out. And when I looked inside this tent, you know what I saw? I saw a bunch of kids in tank tops, shorts, flip-flops. Kids that were even younger than me. They were the ones that were scaring. And I remember thinking like, man, I can't believe I just had a 10-year-old scare me like that. I can't believe I had that teenager freak me out. See, once I saw what it was, I was picturing these evil, huge, buff guys that were scaring and yelling and all this other stuff. And it was just these kids. But you know what? I couldn't see them. And it was dark. And it was scary. And you know what? Satan wants to do the same thing to us. He wants to keep us in the dark. He wants to keep us fearful. He wants to keep us not really knowing what's going on. Because if he could do that, then he could keep us afraid. That's not what the Lord wants. The Lord wants to bring light to our lives, to show us, look, you don't have anything to be afraid of. You don't have anything to worry about. In fact, there's a verse that I really like, and it's in Psalm 34:3, and it says this. I sought the Lord, and he heard me, and delivered me from all my fears. The Lord is with us everywhere that we go. When we seek after him, when we cast our cares onto him, he'll take away all those fears, all those worries, all those cares. Think about this. Think about those things that you're scared of now. Think about those situations that you may be in where you start to get worried or you start to get fearful. Pretend that the master of the universe, the God of everything, the King of kings, the Lord of lords, is standing right there with you. That the man that could speak light and all of a sudden light will happen is right there. The person that holds the earth in the palm of his hands is with you. Would you be scared? Would you be worried? Well, guess what? He is with you wherever you go. You know, there's one man in the Bible, Joshua, that knew this. And you see, he was preparing the Israelites to go take the land that the Lord had promised them. They were getting ready to go out and battle. Now, they couldn't just go into this land and set up a tent and be like, boom, this is my land, get off. No, they had to go fight for it. And they had to go fight people and armies and thousands of men in full suit armor and swords and shields. And so these people were freaked out. The Israelites were saying, we got to go fight these guys. And you know what Joshua did? He got them together and he stood up, and this is what he said. In Joshua 1:9, he said, be strong and of good courage. Don't be afraid or dismayed, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go. Basically, Joshua was saying, come on, don't be scared. Don't be worried. Because when you go out to fight, God's right there with you and he's fighting for you. And it's the same way in our life. Whatever situation you're in, whatever thing scares you, whatever freaks you out, cast it over to the Lord. Say, God, this scares me. God, this is what I'm worried about. God, this is what makes me afraid. And I guarantee you the Lord will bring you peace and he'll say, don't worry. I'm with you. I'm right here next to you. I'm going to take care of this for you. Don't be scared. Don't worry about nothing. I got this. That's who our God is. That's who our Father is. That's who our shepherd is. He loves us. He takes care of us. And he watches over us. We love you guys. I can't wait to see you soon.
Staring into your eyes makes my heart come alive. Suddenly brought to life when I met you. Reaching beyond the skies, run